Hi, my name is Angelina.
Hello, my name is Sezi.
Hey everyone, my name is Ara.
Education plays an important role in shaping the future of individuals and society. In Malaysia, the education system continues to evolve through initiatives such as the Malaysian Education Development Plan, which aims to improve the quality of education and prepare students for the challenges of the 21st century.
However, the success of education depends greatly on teachers. Teachers are not only responsible for delivering knowledge, but also develop students' critical thinking, creativity, and moral values.
In this video, we will evaluate the aspiration and direction of current education and discuss its implication in shaping teachers with an educational spirit who are capable of facing the challenges of the 21st century. Today, I will be presenting on the aspiration and direction of Malaysia education system, which is focusing on the transition from the Malaysia education blueprint, or in Malay it called Plan Pembangunan Pendidikan Malaysia, or PPPM 2013 until 2025, to the new education development plan called RPM, or in Malay it called Rancangan Pendidikan Malaysia 2026 until 2035. The purpose of this presentation is to evaluate to what extent the aspirations of Malaysia education system have been achieved, and more importantly, to examine the implications for teachers in the 21st century. First, let us begin with the vision and mission of RPM. The vision of RPM is Pendidikan Bermutu, Insan Terdidik, dan Negara Sejahtera, which means quality education, educated person, and peaceful nation. This vision highlights that education is not only about academic excellence, but also about producing well-rounded individuals who contribute to society and national harmony. Now, for the mission, there are four key points. The first is to provide high quality and inclusive education for all students and ensuring no one is left behind. Second, to develop holistic individuals with knowledge, skills, and values, balancing academic and character development. For the third, to empower teachers and strengthen the education system, and recognizing the important role of educators. And finally, to prepare students for global challenges and future careers, especially in a rapidly changing world. Next, we will move to the five focus area of RPM, which guide how the vision and mission will be achieved. The first focus area is quality, and the second is access in equity. The third is resources in efficiency. The fourth is flexibility, and lastly, sustainability. Now, I will explain each focus area. So, the first focus area is quality. This focuses on improving students' learning outcomes and ensuring global competitiveness. Students are encouraged to develop critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills, not only just exam performance. For teachers, this means using effective teaching strategies and continuous improvement. The second focus area is access and equity. This ensures that all students have equal opportunities, including those in rural and underserved areas. It promotes fairness and inclusivity in education. For teachers, this requires understanding students' diverse backgrounds and supporting their needs. For the third focus area, it is resources and efficiency. This involves maximizing the use of educational resources, such as technology and teaching materials. Teachers need to be creative and efficient in using available resources. For the fourth focus area, it is called flexibility, which is education must adapt to future needs and diverse learners. This includes personalized learning and the use of digital tools. Teachers must be flexible and open to innovation. So, the final focus area is called sustainability. This is to ensure the long-term development of education system, which is teacher must engage in continuous professional development and lifelong learning. Now, before moving further into RPM, it is important to look at the achievement of the previous plan, which is PPPM 2013 until 2025, to understand how far Malaysia has progressed. The PPM has shown several positive achievements, particularly in access, equity, and infrastructure. Let us look at the positive analysis of this achievement. First, there is significant improvement in access to education. Malaysia has achieved high enrollment rates across all levels, showing strong participation in education. For example, preschool 93.52% and for primary 99.39% and lower secondary is 96.31% and lastly for the upper secondary 92.60%. This show that education in Malaysia is highly accessible and inclusive. Secondly, there is a reduction in the equity gap. This means difference between students group are decreasing. For example, urban-rural gap reduced by 26.23%. For gender gap, reduced by 52.78%. And lastly, socio-economic gap reduced by 57.75%. This indicates a more balanced and fair education system. And lastly, there is a improvement in infrastructure, which is better facilities create a more effective learning environment. For example, 84.07% of schools have been upgraded or improved. This supports both teaching and learning processes.
Despite the progress made in access and equity, there are still several challenges related to education quality and global competitiveness. So the first one is declining international performance. The second one is high spending but limited impact. And the last one is skills mismatch with industry. First, declining in the international performance. Malaysia performance in international assessment has shown some decline. In the Program for International Student Assessment (PISA) 2022, Malaysia's mathematics score dropped from 440 to 409, indicating that students may still struggle with higher level problem solving and analytical thinking compared to students in top performing countries. Second, high spending but limited impact. Although Malaysia allocates significant financial resources to education, this investment has not always translated into consistent improvements in learning outcomes or global rankings. This suggests that the issue may not only be funding, but also how effectively resources are managed and implemented within the education system. Another important challenge is skills mismatch with industry. The skill mismatch between education and labor market. As we all know, rapid technological changes require graduates to possess strong digital and analytical skills, yet some employers report that graduates are not fully prepared for the demands on the modern workforce. This issue indicates that while Malaysia has expanded educational access successfully, improving education quality, skills development, and global competitiveness remains a key challenge for the future. Another way to evaluate the effectiveness of the Pelan Pembangunan Pendidikan Malaysia (PPM) 2013 to 2025 is by looking at the real situation where implementation faced challenges. COVID-19 digital divide. One major issue became very clear during the COVID-19 pandemic. Schools had to shift to online learning through using digital platforms such as Google Classroom and Delima. While these platforms allow education to continue, they also reveal a serious digital divide. In many rural areas, especially in places like Sabah, students struggle with unstable internet connection and limited access to digital devices. Some families had to share a single smartphone among several children, which made online learning extremely difficult. In addition, many rural students had low digital literacy, meaning they were not fully confident in using online learning tools. Another challenge is related to English teacher proficiency. One important goal of the education blueprint was to align English teaching with the CEFR International Standard, which expect teachers to reach at least C1 proficiency level. However, reports show that only about 52.8% of English teachers achieve this level. This gap can affect the effectiveness of the CEFR aligned curriculum because students depends on teachers with strong language proficiency to guide them toward higher levels of English competence. Therefore, these examples highlight that although education reforms introduce many improvements, challenges in digital infrastructure and teacher readiness still affect the successful implementation of these policies. While PPPM faced some challenges in implementation, it also achieved significant successes, particularly in improving the quality of learning and fostering critical thinking. One major achievement is in kemahiran berfikir aras tinggi, kebat, or higher order thinking skills. The PPPM and programs like iThink have helped shift teaching from memorization to application, analysis, and reasoning. By the SPM 2024 examinations, around 88% of students achieve minimum mastery in KEBAT elements across core subject, which is a huge improvement from the previous years. Another highlight is the overall SPM performance. The national average grade improved to 4.49, the best in over a decade. A total of 94% of candidates qualified for the SPM certificate by passing key subjects like Bahasa Melayu and History. The gap between urban and rural students also narrowed dramatically, now standing at just 0.02 points, showing that equity initiatives are having an effect. Looking at specific subjects, English language performance improved by 0.19 points, despite some challenges in language proficiency. STEM electives also show strong growth with 11 out of 12 applied science and technology subjects, improving especially physics and chemistry. Overall, these successes demonstrate that PPPM reforms are not just about access, but they are actively embedding critical thinking, application, and 21st century skills, preparing Malaysian students to compete globally. Now, let's look at the remaining challenges. While the PPPM has achieved successes in areas like KEBAT and SPM results, significant gaps remain, especially in digital equity, STEM participation, and the practical application of teacher training. First, the digital divide became very clear during home-based learning. Rural and low-income students often lack devices and stable internet, making platforms like Delima hard to use. This latent digital exclusion slowed learning progress during the pandemic. Next, STEM enrollment is still below the national target. By 2024, 50.8% of secondary students were in STEM, improving from 40.9% in 2021, but still short of the 60% of the goal. Factors include low student motivation, stigma against TVET, and limited career guidance. Another challenge is teacher training for English under the CEFR or Pro-ELT programs. Many teachers understand the CEFR framework in theory, but struggle to integrate it into lesson plans or assessments. This gap prevents students from fully benefiting from the curriculum. However, there are steps that we can do. To address these challenges, several steps are suggested. The first one is project-based learning, PBL, which is the goal is to move beyond KBAT questions to hands-on projects that simulate real-world industry teamwork. By doing this project, school could run at least one major PBL project every 6 months to develop student analytical skills and foster critical thinking. The next one is industry partnership, or known as TVET or STEM, which which is the goal is to collaborate with companies to design curricula and offer internship, giving students practical and job-ready skills. The last one is localized teacher support. This teacher support meant to replace the cascade model with school-based mentoring, creating district-level CEFR experts to guide teachers on daily and context-specific basis. So these actions aim to shift the focus from mere access to quality of engagement, ensuring that PPPM reforms translate into meaningful real-world outcomes.
Teachers are truly key agents of transformation in education. They do much more than just teach. They help to shape students' knowledge, values, and ultimately their future. In today's world, teachers are not merely just transmitters of knowledge. They are facilitators who guide students to develop critical thinking and lifelong learning skills. Teachers help to shape future generations in many important ways. First, they guide students to think critically, helping them analyze information and make informed decisions. Second, they encourage lifelong learning, inspiring students to stay curious and keep growing even beyond the classroom. Third, they support innovation and creativity, creating an environment where students can explore and express their ideas without fear of failure. And finally, teachers help students to apply knowledge in real life situations, connecting lessons to practical experiences and preparing them for the challenges ahead. As you can see in the picture, it's a cycle of mentorship, inspiration, and empowerment that helps students to unfold their true potential. So, in short, teachers do not just educate, they can transform lives. Their influence extends far beyond the classroom, shaping the future of our society through the students they nurture today. This transformation doesn't just benefit the students, but it also brings several positive impacts to the teachers. Firstly, they have greater autonomy. They can adjust their teaching methods to suit their students' needs and learning styles, making the lessons more effective and engaging. Teachers also get benefits from continuous professional development, which keeps them updated with the latest teaching methods. Next, improve teaching skills and strategies, helping them to become more confident and effective while teaching in the classroom. And lastly, more creative and innovative lesson, which allows them to explore new ideas and make lessons more exciting. However, while teachers play a vital role in transforming education, they also face several challenges. One of the main issues is the gap in digital competency. Not all teachers feel confident or have knowledge of using technology, which can make implementing modern teaching methods difficult. Other challenges include limited resources in rural areas, making it harder to provide quality education for all students. Next is difficulty adapting to new technologies, as constant updates require time and training to master. And lastly is increased workload and pressure to meet students' academic needs. But despite these challenges, teachers continue to work hard to ensure students receive the best education possible, demonstrating resilience, dedication, and passion for their profession. To overcome these challenges, several steps can be taken to support teachers and strengthen education. Firstly, continuous training through regular workshops allows teachers to improve their teaching skills and stay up to date with the new methods. Secondly, mentoring programs enable experienced teachers to guide newer teachers, sharing valuable advice and strategies for success. Thirdly, digital pedagogy training helps teachers gain confidence in using technology effectively in the classroom. And finally, well being support is essential to reduce stress and promote teachers' mental health, ensuring they remain motivated and passionate about their work. By implementing these steps, teacher can better navigate challenges, grow professionally, and continue to inspire and empower their students. Now, I would like to share a short video that demonstrates a creative teaching method by a young primary school teacher. In this video, the teacher uses teaching aids to make learning prepositions fun and interactive for students. Let's watch and see how simple props can help students understand concepts more easily while keeping them engaged. Now my Sheila wants to hide. Where is my Sheila hiding? My Sheila is hiding where? In the cup. Okay. We're going to do this very quickly. Now you only have to say the preposition. Okay? If I put my Sheila on top, you say on, under, left. Macam gitu. On in, okay? Okay, can we start? Okay. Brandon, can you come here? Yes, Brandon, come here. And then have them say the preposition. Okay, teacher Brandon will move my Sheila, and you guys have to say the preposition together. Can you do that? Okay. Okay, 1, 2, start. Okay, Nowadays, teachers don't usually rely only on traditional teaching methods, such as reading from textbooks and taking notes. Teachers now often use creative methods like discussions, projects, and interactive activities. However, it is best if teachers can balance both approaches, using traditional methods to build a strong foundation and creative methods to make learning engaging and develop critical thinking skills. In the 21st century, teachers face new roles and expectations that go beyond traditional teaching. Firstly, teachers must integrate digital technology into their lessons, using tools that enhance learning and engagement. They also need to promote critical thinking and problem solving skills, helping students to analyze information and find solutions independently. Encouraging collaboration and teamwork is also essential as students learn to communicate, cooperate, and work effectively with others. Other than that, teachers should also nurture global citizenship and cultural awareness, preparing students to understand and respect diversity in an interconnected world. And finally, supporting students' emotional and mental well being is a key responsibility, ensuring that learners feel safe, motivated, and confident in their educational journey. In conclusion, teachers are key agents of educational transformation, shaping students' knowledge, skills, and values. They face both opportunities such as professional growth and recognition, and challenges, including digital gaps and limited resources. With proper support, continuous training, and well being programs, teachers can overcome these challenges and succeed in their roles. Empowered and motivated teachers inspire and guide students, preparing them for success in the 21st century and beyond.
In conclusion, the direction of current education emphasizes the importance of innovation, critical thinking, and holistic student development.
To achieve this goal, teachers must not only be knowledgeable but also passionate, adaptable, and committed to continuous learning.
Therefore, shaping dedicated and future ready teachers is essential in ensuring that education still continues to progress and meet the demands of the 21st century. So, that is all from our presentation. Thank you for watching.